welcome back. It's day 6, like the actual day 6 of the end of Organgelion. So like the organ's done, like the restoration process is complete. So instead today we'll be doing some modifications. Yeah, look at that there. And without further ado, come on, let's go to the workbench. Let's go. Yeah, that works. Okay, ignore that. Alright, so here we are at the lab, by the lab? At the workbench. And I want to do a little modification to the M3 organ. You see, like, in my opinion, one of the best sounds that the Hammond organ makes is in conjunction with the Leslie speaker. You know, it gives you that phasey, fluttery, vibro kind of effect that's so crucial to the Hammond organ sound. And I want to DI this thing into my computer. Yeah, so what I'm looking for is like an audio output. However, the Hammond doesn't have an audio output. And you know, like, props to the Hammond Organ Company for thinking about this, or at least the Organ Service Company, because the fine folks who made this service manual gave us one heck of an option. This guy. So let's take a look at the schematic real quick to see what's going on. So currently the organ's set up like this. You got your green wire going to one end of the speaker and your black wire going to the other. This black wire is either ground or the negative end of a push-pull amplifier. I don't know which, but we'll just assume it's ground for now. Now instead, when you flick the switch on, the signal path goes through the green wire, does not go to one of the terminals of the speaker, but instead goes through this 10 ohm resistor, and then back out through the black wire. And basically, this big 10 ohm, 10 watt resistor is pretending to be a speaker. The output stage of tube amps are kind of finicky like that. They want to see a constant load or else they like heat up and freak out and it's bad for the tubes. So yeah, you got this big chonky resistor here bypassing all the current that's supposed to be going through the speaker. And right up here, it takes a little smidgen of the signal and then sends it out through this headphone jack. Oh look, I guess the black wire is ground. So yeah. Switch this way, signal goes through speaker to ground. Switch this way, signal goes through this speaker to ground, and a little bit of the signal skimmed off the top. Now I could just build this as is. However, Jareth, the synth pro himself, Polymoog expert, has devised a circuit pretty similar to this. It's tried and true, and I like how it works better with the coupling capacitor and the audio potentiometer. Yeah, so screw all this. I'll be aping his circuit for the project. Now first I'm going to need some sort of metal panel to mount everything to, kind of like the switches on the front of the organ. And I was scrounging around, I was thinking about using this like old film canister and then like cleaning this up and doing something with that. I got this, which came with the replacement motor, which is actually like an electrical power cover that was missing from my M3, so I'm just going to install this on the back of my organ. And then I found this. Dude, it's like the perfect size to fit all the components. So first, I guess we'll tackle this surface rust. Yeah, that's better. I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go, just got the plate polished up as best I could. Let me just clean it up with some IPA. So what I'm gonna attempt now is something called the toner transfer method. And it's just for putting some graphics on this panel. But basically it's a good way for making circuit boards at home. You design up your circuit board in some CAD software, print a mirrored image of it on transparency film. Yeah, like this. Then if you iron it on, the toner should come off the transparency sheet and stick to the metal. And after a few more steps, you get something like this. But I'm gonna ignore those other steps and just focus on getting the toner onto this blank plate. Ugh. Yeah, that's better. I can work with something like that. But it is gloss time. It is gloss time. Now it's time to protect our handiwork. Oh yeah, look at the gloss, making the letters pop out like that. I like that. Well, I mean, the text looks okay, but gosh, these holes look terrible. Thought the drill press would have made quick work of this, but hey, I would have had better luck with a hand drill. Good enough. Alright, so now this green wire has to be removed from the speaker and then soldered onto one of these two wires here, and the other one gets soldered back onto the speaker. And then this wire will connect to this ground lug right here. Alright, everything's wired up and plugged in. We got the control panel installed, so yeah, let's see if this thing still makes sound. Now we'll switch over to the line out. And yeah, the line out works. Now I've got to say, my favorite thing about the Hammond organ is the built-in pedal board. Alright, and that about does it for the Organ Madness series. Oh, I am so glad I didn't have to remove that tone generator and desolder that wiring loom and resolder it all back in. Maybe replace some gears or something, like, whew. And also, I'm super glad I did that auxiliary output mod. Now I can run it directly into my computer and use effects pedals, and all without having to mic it up. Oh, now I just gotta wheel this thing out of my wife's sunroom and get it up to the studio. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do more of these short form project videos more often and just post them on Instagram and Facebook, maybe even YouTube. Cool. Peace.